Welcome back, boys, to RMTS. It's been so long since this microphone has been in front of my face. It feels like a whole bunch of life changes. Verlis, how's it going, buddy?
I've been rebuilding my setup for the Pokemon Presents, Pokemon Champions, and Pokemon Pokopia. So, no face cam while everything is in chaos.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Champions. No idea when the fuck it is going to come.
It's crazy because, like, sometimes Pokemon be like making announcements in January. We saw it with Pokemon X and Y, we saw it with DLC announcements, but then now, the most important game. I guess they don't even take it seriously. They don't think it's the most important game, even though it is. Like, that's the only thing that's going to get people interested in Pokemon again. It's the only thing that, like, fans are talking about. Like, when I talk to my friends that used to play Pokemon, or when they're like, oh yeah, Pokemon Champions sounds cool. It's like Pokemon Showdown, but in an app, I'll play it. Like, that's the only thing people are interested in, and Pokemon is being as quiet as possible about it. We needed it released before Pokemon Day, and then Pokemon Day just bricks it arbitrarily. It's like, oh, no Pokemon news from December to February, just because
And
Pokemon
that's
Day
what, the
exists,
27th or something
something
like
like
that.
that.
It just, it has to drop soon. It has to. It's going to make everything drag.
It
What I
can't though
hope they
because
don't do,
Pokopia is March 4th.
yeah, what I hope they don't do is they end up dragging it out so that way Gen 10 comes out beforehand. That would fucking suck. But
That's impossible though, right?
no, I think
I thought
it depends
Champions
on
was
how much.
confirmed to be 2026.
Yeah, but I don't trust them not showing off Gen 10 on the 27th. And then, Champions and then Gen 10 hitting in November. I thoroughly
That's
would not be
impossible.
surprised if. Why is that impossible?
Like they never released two games like that on top of each other. We didn't even see that with Pokemon Go. Like it would
Yeah,
be
but it seems like they're
August at
getting
the
slower.
latest for Champions.
Yeah. I think releasing both this year is going to make it all fucking convoluted and complicated. I don't see them sticking to having both this year. I think Champions is the one that gets moved, and that fucking sucks.
I don't think Game Freak has ever moved a game before though, unless we're talking about like Gen 4 because Diamond and Pearl were delayed. They've when they set a date, they stick it.
Yeah, but there isn't a date yet. It's early this or late that. They're
Well, that's
doing
why
the
they say
same shit
that.
that fucking Rockstar is now.
But they don't change that. If they say winter 2026, it will always be winter 2026.
I think it's their last chance at having competitive continue to grow, making it so much more accessible. It's like putting in ranked play in Call of Duty. It's a fucking blast, and it actually gets people to look at the competitive because they're like, oh wait, I can watch this too. But
Yeah,
if they don't put in the effort and the time into it, it's going to crash it. It's going to
that's the
kill it.
scary thing. Like the Pokemon Company doesn't understand how serious this is for millions of Pokemon fans, which is why it should have already been out by now. And then going
Oh,
back
it
to that
totally
rank
should have been.
thing, people get like casuals. There's too many of them. Zoomers are frail and weak and suck. And then they're just like, why do we have to try in games? We play games for fun. Like we're in the least competitive generation of people, and they always cry about ranked. But that's the only thing that gives games longevity. You need a ranked mode for every game, or else someone's going to want to keep playing, keep improving on it.
But I also understand that, and totally get that this is the argument against skill based matchmaking. Is you don't want every game to feel like I have to turn it on to 11 and be performing at main stage level right now, always. There's that fucking morning wood game that you always have where you're like, oh, dude, I'm not even fully awake yet. I'm still sipping my energy drink. That G Fuel's not kicking in yet. I need a game to like get my aim up to speed and chill out. And, I'm not playing five of the same level that I am on the other side. One's okay, but like not 10.
Yeah, but well, I mean, they still need ranked ladders. Like every game needs a ranked mode. You can still have a casual mode, but it can't be only a casual mode game because then
That's
everyone's going to
that's
suck.
what I'm saying. Is like you got to be able to mix both of them and not just have, casual as totally and entirely the same exact thing without an elo ladder. It's stupid. They're fucking up so many games with this shit now because they're like, "Oh my god, guys, we can make people stay longer." Dude, that grandma with a point 0.5 KD isn't going to stay longer because you give her, the catering to her. It just isn't. It's fucking stupid. You also would think with it's funny in Emerald, I see them actually like showing the care and the effort towards doing competitive with the battle towers and all of that shit. And since then, they really kind of haven't made that as big of a thing of like, here, let's throw you into the deep end too. That's the shitty part is like, it seems like there's such an availability for them to actually teach people how to like that part of the game, and they just choose not to.
Yeah, it's weird.
So you sent me this thing about Gen Z being fucking more stupid than average, and it is crazy. So, neurosci- neuroscientist study reveals that Gen Z may become the first generation to be less intelligent than their predecessor millennials. For the first time in 100 years, young people are scoring lower than their parents did on IQ tests and core skills like memory, reading, and focus. This is happening mainly in the US and Europe, and the main causes appear to be excessive screen time and digital device use, particularly in schools and social settings. While some suggest Gen Z is developing different skills, research shows actual declines in fundamental problem-solving abilities.
Are we surprised?
Eh, it it's hard, but somebody wrote the state of Gen Z: lower IQ than the previous generation, more likely to be depressed, more likely to be addicted to gambling, more likely to be antisocial, less likely to drink alcohol, less likely to be in a relationship, and less likely to have children. What is going on?
Yeah, it
I,
turns
I
out
think,
children are very impressionable and easy to just completely ruin when like it's actual brain rot. They never developed anything and they never cared about anything. And because they think they have like all the information in the world in their hand, they don't have to learn anything. And this is what people have been
and
saying about Gen Z since Gen Z became a term.
I'm going to say this, and it's going to make everybody shit themselves. And then they're going to think about it, and they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, dude, he's probably right." I don't think it's COVID.
No, absolutely not.
Everybody in looks at this fucking thing, and they're going to be like, "Oh my god, it's COVID! Oh my god, it's COVID! Oh my god, it's COVID!" It's not fucking COVID.
Gen Z
It's
was
not the
stupid
fact that we
before
were.
COVID.
You see, even millennials doing the same shit because
Hmm.
because of their fucking thought process. It's not anything different than just their thought process of things. When you look at the people that are before the millennials, people that were born in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, a lot of them didn't have high intelligence scores because they were people that just sat there and ran their hands through the dirt until they were able to get it done. That's why we kept increasing in intelligence as time went on, because we were able to have more and more information, and intelligence is scored more likely based off of the things that you're able to hold within your head and problem solving. That's all it is. So if you have somebody who's just down to fucking grind their ass off until they fucking figure it out and it works, yeah, that's going to be different. But millennials are so different than that. And then you have Zoomers who absolutely have no idea how to do anything because they've never been forced to actually have empathy for anybody. So now they have no fucking comprehension of what the other person's feeling or thinking on the other side. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
like
what I genuinely
emotional
think it is.
intelligence is also lacking. And I've been against even millennials the entire time, going back to like 2010, where it's like, wow, millennial entitlement is already incredibly off the charts, and everything's an excuse. Oh, we had the housing crisis, we had 9/11, we have COVID. It's like, well, no, you're not doing anything to work for yourself. You're just making excuses out of everything. And then it is just like everyone getting a trophy completely rot you because then you never have to try or strive for anything. And then it's just handouts, and then if you call them out on it, they get all offended because we're in an emotions over facts society, and then that only leads to stupidity.
And it's fucking infuriating because there is so many things that are legitimately better, and there are things that are legitimately worse. I completely understand. If you want to have a nuanced conversation, motherfucker, you have to accept the fucking nuance. You can't just stomp your feet and say, I don't fucking want to understand it. That's not how it works. You can't just say my feelings matter more. When my thought process matters more. When I don't want to do anything. When what the fuck?
Yeah, and the problem is these people, they created like their own spaces because we don't have previous generations on the internet as much as millennials and zoomers. So that's where they think they're the majority there. So if they all just want to throw a tantrum 24/7 or just be petulant, well, they can just get all their confirmation bias in their spaces, and then that doesn't help anyone, and it crumbles society. Cool.
Well, not only that, we stopped melting. Like, and
Yeah, we all just like
whether you're,
segregated on the internet.
yeah, whether it's on the internet or in person, everybody is not talking. Like, regardless of fucking generation, you can now go to coffee shops and there's fucking old people sitting there scrolling on their phone. Like, there's no difference in between generations anymore. They're all the fucking same. The only difference is when you find people that don't have their phone in their hand, they're normally upset assholes. But that's it. But it's like we're so fucking retarded with dealing with this shit because we just want to have our phone in our hand. We want to use our phone to communicate with people, and it is the all-knowing fucking equalizer. But at the same time, dude, we're not fucking talking to people. So now we're starting to have such bad social anxiety that we're all fucking in a loop of our own. And it's just it's so frustrating.
Hmm. And the problem is the internet's so large, you can find your bias and get it confirmed no matter what you want to believe, no matter how anti-fact it is, and that just makes you stupider. No one is out there learning and developing any cognitive skills and critical thinking. So if like the answer isn't immediately there in like in a way that is just foolproof, they can't rationalize anything. That's what it's like, yep. And it feels like you can just tell. It's like, yeah, IQ's plummeting from the overuse of the internet and being terminally online. All you do is go on TikTok, get slop and brain rot. You're not going to come out of that knowing anything.
The only thing that it's done is it's raised the internet and the phones and everything else have raised the ceiling for intelligence because it does. It always will. But I think that it slightly increased the floor from like the people that have like no idea what the color blue is to now just being like, oh my God, 6'7". Like it's just raised the floor to like second grade level. That's all it's done. And there's
That's
no
another thing you
fucking
can
difference.
tell. With like the memes are also less coherent and less intelligent. Where like Skibidi, Ohio, 6'7". It's like, bro, at least like other memes and other cultural things meant something. I don't think E meant anything. That was like the worst millennials brought to the table, and people only use that like, well, you guys had E, so 6'7's fair. It's like, well, that's just a dishonest comparison because everything else actually like had a meaning behind it, or at least a little bit more to it as a meme. Creativity was involved. There's nothing creative. Like Zoomers have zero culture and have created nothing of any creative value.
No, you want to know the thing that is equal to 6'7" and shit like that? It's Bob the Tank Commander in YouTube comments.
Hmm.
You're not adding anything to it. You're just making a cute little picture and being like, "Ha ha, here's Bob." That's
Except
about what 6'7" is.
Bob was used for some cultural movements. Like Bob needs the dislike button to show that he disagrees with this. Use Bob as a dislike button.
Exactly. So like, there's more
Bob had
creative uses to
utility.
things. Yeah, but the shitty part about it is like, I wish that parents actually gave a fuck. Have I ever talked about how I handled brain rot with my kids?
No, this is
So
a
I
good
think
segment because I have a
I
lot
got
of
a
thoughts
really
on it too.
I got a really nuanced, weird idea of how to handle it because, like, I don't like anybody having a conversation that's just brain dead. And when you have kids, there's a lot of brain dead conversations. So with my autism, I was like, dude, we need to handle this and we need to handle this in the most successful way we possibly can. So I was like, unless you can explain to me what it means, you cannot use it in my house. And that's not just brain dead shit, that's all shit. If you don't know what crack cocaine is, I don't want to hear fucking cocaine come out of your mouth. If you know what I'm saying, like on a
That's
level, I want you to
actually the most
understand.
incredible parenting I've ever heard that no one's ever brought up before. Or like, yeah, if you want to use it, even if it's just a word, know what it means instead of just repeating shit.
So like my my son's my middle kid, and he was so far down into the like Zoomer culture that he was just saying Skitty Riz Ohio all the time and everything else. And I'm like, what the fuck's it mean? And once I caught him on that the first time, he stopped completely. Not because like he still uses it elsewhere, but he literally will sit here and have a full on conversation and just be like, this. It was like, if you're gonna explain it to me and tell me how to use it and everything else, and it's okay for both of us to use it, we're great. That's fine. I don't care. But if you're not going to, or you're not going to understand it yourself, don't use it. That's not how we need to talk. Think you're gonna go into a job interview and be like, "This is skibbity riz." The fuck? It's just it's insane because you think that so many of these parents are like, "Oh my god, go do this dance trend or go do this or go do that. It'll be funny." Dude, you're just making your kid be a parrot. That's all you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a parrot for you anymore.
Well, that's because they think their kid is going to get a million views and then they're going to get money into the house. Because everyone's on brain rot. Everyone wants the easy way out.
Dude, I think everybody genuinely loves those fucking videos where you have these smart ass little kids run around saying shit that they don't fully even fucking grasp. We're saying, I fucking love you. It's fucking funny. I get it. But at the same time, it's just like, dude, that's not how the world works. My 5 year old ran up to me and was like, 6'7". I'm like, no.
That's good. Just no.
Like,
I think there
like
also needs to be
if
something like I don't care if you can explain it in any capacity. Like Skibbity is banned permanently, 6'7's banned permanently. There's zero
no,
value to these words.
there's one time where you're allowed to laugh at 6'7", and it's going to be the same time as when I say 69. Hey, it's a funny number. If 6'7" or 67 comes up, yeah, feel free to fucking giggle. It's okay. Like I giggle at dumb shit too. But if we're gonna have a conversation, at least let's have an actual conversation, not just fucking memeing back and forth because it's fucking stupid. It's stupid as hell. I'm sorry. It's just stupid. But yeah,
Yeah,
like it so you think that's a good way to kind of level up that situation?
I think that's a pretty good way where it's like you at least it encourages some kind of rationalization. Like if you can't defend your point, even if you're a kid and you're saying something stupid, it's like, well, then why are you holding it? Why are you wasting your development or anything on this? That's just a good life lesson to teach early on.
Yeah, like I remember when I was like 8 or 9, my mom's like, "Hey, I know you're gonna use these words at school. Don't use them at home or in front of grandma." And I was like, "Okay, that's great." And then I hit like 12, and she's like, "Hey, you're using these words. It's okay. As long as you're not cursing at people," which has been the rule that I've had for my kids. Hey, don't curse at people. Don't say things derogatorily on purpose. And that's been my rule. And then my mom was just like, stop using fuck as a sentence enhancer. So,
But it's
like,
so
that's kind of
fucking
the great.
good.
It is. It's fucking fantastic. But at some point, when you're saying it every third word, you kind of sound retarded at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's excessive. That's fucking excessive. Why would anyone fucking do that?
Yeah, no, I remember my aunts fucking commenting, "Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?" It's like, dude, I haven't kissed my mom since I was like fucking 7 years old. I don't plan on kissing my mom probably ever again. And no, no, I don't kiss my mother with that mouth. And I'm going to say whatever the fuck I please. Go fuck yourself. Like, what are you talking about here? I'm kind of confused. My words are not a sign or not a sign of disrespect. Listen to what I'm saying instead of just being butthurt because I say the F word. Or not either one of the bad F words. So you brought up this 24-hour challenge.
Yeah, I
And
think it really proves that Zoomers are fucking fried.
and Reddit goes into a fucking tizzy all of the fucking time. So it says Reddit hypothetical, like you get $5 million, but you have to go outside. $5 million, but you have to stay outside for 24 hours. It's a classical winter day, temperature slightly below freezing at 30 Fahrenheit. You get the following offer: in normal winter clothes, a sweater, a good winter coat, some gloves, and you will have to go outside and stay outside for 24 hours no matter what happens. You cannot go inside. That means houses, dog houses, shops, restaurant, or any sort of building. You cannot make a shelter of any kind. No tent, no igloo, no anything. You cannot make a fire, use, or get any other heating source. Basically, it's just stand, sit, lay, walk outside for 24 hours. Edit, the
Zoomers
person
aren't
was
beating
so
the
retarded.
allegations.
This retard couldn't even figure out what Fahrenheit it was to be -1 Celsius. And edit two for clarification. Now that I get that it seems that this is an easy challenge for a lot of my brothers and sisters from the North American continent, I have mostly written this hypothetical as a challenge that prolonged exposure to lower temperatures starting from 10 Celsius and lower, according to the health and government websites, you need to plan around preventing hypothermia and such.
That's an ignorance I can't even begin to unpack. Where they think like, oh, because hypothermia, you can technically be hypothermic at 60. Woo, it's deadly out there. Like, they have no life experience. They have actually not gone outside. I would be surprised if they spent a cumulative 24 hours outside just being in nature in their entire life at that point. Not walking like to the bus stop or going outside for a recess, but like these people have never even spent any amount of time outdoors. That's why they can't beat the allegations. Zero life experience. They think government websites are the fact of the world. If you go outside under 40, you're dead.
First off, I'm going to say this is fucking easy.
Yeah,
Second
I
off,
guess it's well. It's one of those things like, do we have to even state how easy that is? Also, that's why I like bringing up the Twitter post in the video to show the replies because replies are equally stupid. They're defending it. They're like, well, yeah, you could get cold. They just said normal winter gear. You'll freeze to death. No, you won't.
yeah, I got it. Whatchamacallit, it's just, it's so brain dead. When has the only time that you've actually been warned about hypothermia? Because I think people actually don't fully grasp this.
If you fall through ice,
Yes, that was the exact thing that I'm not going to beat the redneck allegations wearing something that looks so much like camouflage without them really seeing what it is. But the only time that I've ever been like warned about hypothermia is when I was ice fishing. And my
yeah.
dad was like, "Hey, don't stick your hands or feet in the fucking holes of ice and watch where you walk.
Yeah. Don't
Because if
get
you
wet and
fall in the
cold at the
water,
same time.
yes, like these people legitimately could lay in a fucking snowbank and they'd be perfectly fine. Do you know how good of a nap you would have? It's probably the best nap you would ever fucking have. I could sleep for those 24 hours and hand me the 5 million afterwards, and we're gonna have a fucking time.
Mm-hmm. Worst part, you just cuddle up next to a tree and just sit there for 24 hours. 5 mil, that's worth it. I don't care if it's the
I've
most
got a
miserable 24 hours
8 foot
of my life.
snowbank outside. I got an 8 foot snowbank outside. I will literally just sit in it and make it into a fucking chair.
That'd be funny.
But like as a whole, dude, like it was like 5 below 0, if I remember correctly. The time that I'm specifically thinking about with hypothermia. I was in coveralls and like a jacket over top of it, which is probably overdressed for the occasion, and I had gloves on, and we were ice fishing. My dad bought me a white hot chocolate from Dunkin', and we were sitting on the ice in the middle of town. And I didn't pay attention to my fucking hot chocolate, so by the time it was frozen, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's like if you can exist in those situations where you're in the middle of fucking nowhere and there's no protection from the wind, no nothing, dude, you can fucking hang out at 32-degree weather. I was wearing shorts and a hoodie in this weather when I was in high school. That was pre-neck surgery, but like I legitimately was just wearing a hoodie and shorts. These people are fucking retarded.
That's why, and like, I wonder what like, if there's studies on the capacity of like humans, like, if you've only lived in Africa your entire life, how much can you survive cold weather, and that's not even cold. Like 30 isn't cold. Like 0, yeah, you throw someone from the tropics into 0, they're gonna have a bad time. But I grew up in Florida, and I was like living in Colorado in blizzards, and I adapted. Like, and that was with big fluffy jackets and stuff. So I mean, like, if you just have regular clothes in 30s, I can't imagine there's any threat to anyone on this planet that isn't like immune compromised or something.
What the
So
fuck?
that's what I mean. It's just they've never been outside. And even growing up in Florida, I knew what cold was, and that 30 wasn't bad, and 0 is when it gets sketchy.
So oh my god. Okay, so this is literally just a terminally online person. Um, so somebody fucking commented on this. It said during the holidays, I sometimes just roam around the country for days on end and only stop to get coffee. I think my record for not sleeping during all of this was around 30 hours because I distinctly remember watching the sunset twice.
That's cool.
It, so that's the part where I struggle of like, oh my god, dude, some of these comments are real. I don't think most of these comments are real.
Oh, I thought that was a real comment, and then you were going to find a reply where someone's like, "You're lying. Someone would die if they
Nope,
stayed up
there
30 hours."
somebody look at this 86 times. There's only 86 views, no likes, no responses. No, this dude's account or this chick's account is literally just like Zoomer shit. The first thing is literally a anime girl that looks like she's from Pokemon with her pants unzipped, saying at times we barbecue and add spices. Ever heard of it? Making fun of Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, and also Jew jokes because everybody has those. It's some of this shit is so stupid. I hate people because they think the rage bait in the comments is the main answer. Dude, we could have so much more of an interesting conversation if
That's another
90% of
thing
everything wasn't rage bait.
about Zoomer intelligence. Is like they just deliberately lie. They just deliberately lie because it's more entertaining than the truth. And even if you give them like hard, like they'll be like 2 plus 2 equals 5, and then you do a proof on why 2 plus 2 equals 4, and then they're just like, then they just break down and still don't accept the facts.
Ugh, it's so frustrating because some of the shit's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's
So
that's a good Reddit one though, man. It captures the essence of Reddit. If you go outside for 24 hours, you'll die. That's why it's worth 5 million, dude. I do it for a thousand
so
dollars.
this is one of those things where it has a chance of going viral, I think, because it's so funny and so nostalgic. Do you remember dare classes in middle school and
Yeah,
elementary school?
drugs
Okay,
bad.
so yeah, exactly. So for any of you young whippersnappers that haven't been around that long, dare class, they would teach you about all the drugs and everything. And I think I remember the first one being like third or fourth grade. And essentially they tell you that, when you get older, people will just throw drugs at you. They will stick them in apples and feed them to kids on Halloween. They will do all of these things because drug dealers are bad people. Remember that? Remember that all the time? Like, oh, if you go to a party, you'll hear crazy music, people will get drunk, and people will randomly force you to snort cocaine.
I,
Like they
I
would tell you
I
so.
never saw like on the hard drugs, but it was just kind of like every party you're going to go to will just have weed flung at you 24/7, and you need to learn how to say no. But I honestly think that that marketing, and when the 90s, like even kids shows would have something with that, where it's just like, oh no, the drugs. I thought we were a better society for all of that. It's incredible.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And not because I think the like fear and rage baiting all of it was the right answer, because obviously with some things they were wrong and with some things they over exaggerated and some things they were right. But
I'm kind of looping back around to all drugs are bad in destroying society.
have you ever had one of those situations where drugs were flung at you?
I mean, it's just one of those things where not it's like yes and no, Where it's like it wasn't done in that situation, but if you have a friend that does drugs, they just want everyone around them to do drugs as well, in my experience.
Oh, absolutely. I've never had those situations either. So I've had these. I never had one of these dare situations until literally like 2 weeks ago. So I use Delta 8 for my neck. I've been very, very open about it. It's one of the only things that actually works for my neck, other than taking 50 fucking showers a day, and obviously you can't fucking do that either. So I need something in order to control the nerve pain. So I walk into the fucking local smoke shop, and I've never had somebody look up at me, smirk, and say, "You want some meat? You want some weed, man?" And I was like, "What in the fuck is this?" Like, and you're like, "Oh, well, you walked into a smoke shop, Zach." No, he pulled it out of his backpack because he doesn't sell anything in the shop other than like things that you smoke with. And
Yeah.
that part entirely confused me too. But he's like, "You need some weed, man? Here you go." It's like, no, I was looking to buy this and this. He's like, "Oh, so you don't want this? Okay." It's like, what the fuck was that? I've never even seen drugs before that day. Like, never just had it available or anything. Like, I've seen other people smoke and stuff like that, but I've never seen anything.
That's weird.
That's
Cause
weird.
like, cause like, yeah, every party I've been to in like Florida and something, someone brought weed. I didn't do it, but that's where all my dare training came in. Where it was just like,
See,
no,
your dare
drug
training
bad.
worked on you. It didn't work on me because I never experienced it. I never got to run around and say, "Fuck you, that's my purse." I
If
never
you're the
got to say
black
those
belt
things.
that was like that never found their bar fight they could break up.
Like, I remember I was like 9, and my mom was dropping me off to my dad's. And it was later this day. It was probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it was dark. But she decided she wanted to stop for Dunkin' Donuts because my mom loved her extra large coffees. Always. She drank them always. And there was this dude sitting outside with like a trench coat on. Like stereotypical trench coat, late late 90s, early 2000s, with their collar popped. And I was like, "Why is he standing outside, Mom? It's cold." She's like, "Well, that's a drug dealer, babe." I'm like, now looking back as like an adult, I'm like, I really don't think I was in that much of a threat to get stabbed or shot, because I was questioning if this dude was actually a drug dealer in the middle of upstate New York. I don't think that this is a thing. Like, people don't just like drug people. That's not how this works. Like, am I crazy?
People do just drug people. That's the whole date grape thing.
That's not what I was talking. I was saying
I
like,
know, but see, those are also drugs you got. That was a part of dare as well. Never leave your drink unattended. If you see any spooky
but
fizzing going on,
I remember them saying crazy shit like, "Oh yeah, dude, even if you buy weed, which is why you shouldn't buy weed, it's always going to be laced with cocaine because they want you to come
but
back."
now it's laced with fentanyl. They were just right. Now people are dying because they get a joint and it has too much fentanyl and they just die. Isn't fentanyl like the number one cause of death for millennials now or something shitty?
Oh, it probably is. It probably is. And it's probably a lot of people fucking doing shit all by themselves and continuing to sell shit on the street. I completely agree with you there. But oh my fucking
Uh,
God,
it's
dude,
50,000 deaths related to fentanyl.
that's crazy. It feels so fucking mind numbing, because it's like, dude,
Oh, 2025 was 72,000. It's only
that's
going up.
fucking insane. It's heartbreaking. It's genuinely heartbreaking, because you would think that genuinely these people would want better for people, but it's like, oh my God, guys, I feel good.
Yeah. Well, but that's also another thing where it's like if someone has a destructive habit or is doing something wrong, they need everyone for their confirmation to join in. That's why weed people are so insufferable. They need validation for their shitty habits.
It shouldn't even be that. Like, genuinely, like, dude, no, it's just not. Like, it's not a superfood. It's not this big crazy thing. It works for some things. It doesn't work for others. It doesn't have to be a fucking catch-all. You don't have to say that it's God's medicine. There is no such thing as God's medicine. It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, but like on the dare side, I think the thing is though, like the extreme drugs haven't just fallen into my lap. No one's been like, "Hey man, you want some coke? You want some heroin?" Haven't had that. But like also they were really big on underage drinking as well. That was all over the place. That's something you gotta dare to say no to.
I only had one of those no, two of those situations where I was offered alcohol before I was 21 too. Like I don't understand. Like maybe it's because I just never did anything, had a kid at 16 and then like moved
Exactly,
on with
you're
my
already
life.
a parent. Like that creates a barrier that keeps this shit off you.
I
Actually,
don't know
no, because
how.
then there's also a lot of parents like that are
Exactly. A
teenage
lot of
parents
parents are
that
bad parents.
yeah, like they just bum out super early. Either way, yeah, Dare was interesting. Ain't no party like a drug-free party though.
Because a drug-free party does stop. A drug
Don't stop.
No, a drug party don't stop. A drug-free party does.
No, a
Because everybody
drug-free
gets
party
tired at
don't
some point.
stop though. Yeah, but they want you to believe it doesn't stop.
So yeah, I thought that was so funny because it was just it
It's
was
like,
one of
oh
the
my
most.
god, it's
I've had
real.
one of these moments now. Like I walked out to the car with my fiance. And I was like, babe, I've had a dare moment. She's like, yeah, that was really fucking weird.
People, no one in life is gonna walk up to you going, "Want some drugs?" And then
You
it
want to buy some
happens.
drugs? And it's like, wait, I was literally just accosted in that same way. I love my god to death, but fucking hell. Yeah, it's so fucking weird. And then more verbal fuck ups. Did you see what Billie Eilish said at the fucking Grammys? Because she's a
Nope.
fucking idiot.
Why would I care about the Grammys or Billie Eilish?
Because it is so fucking retarded that I thought that maybe it would get on your radar even slightly. First off, I really don't understand why this bitch is like to begin with. But I'm gonna take out a lot of my preconceived ideas in this situation. This bitch stands up at the Grammys and was like, I support uh anti-ice and everything else and disagreeing with ice and let's keep fighting, fight. And then says, guys, nobody can be illegal on stolen land.
That's just
So
brain rot.
now so now there's been like three YouTubers that are like, hey, guys, I'm petitioning to go to Billie Eilish's house and live on her land without her knowing and without her accepting it because she's living on stolen land.
We've seen this, like when they dropped off just 40 illegals into Martha's Vineyard, and Martha's Vineyard couldn't hold that. Yet 10,000 in Columbus, Ohio is fair.
So now the Native American sect that lived there before it was turned into full on California is petitioning the court to evict Billie Eilish from her multi-million-dollar fucking house.
I wish that,
Because
yeah.
they now have proof that that's what she believes, that she doesn't own it, that it is stolen land and that it needs to be returned to the Indians.
I wish that our law system did have caveats for that. Where like, if you say something so profoundly stupid that can bite you in the ass, you legally have to own up to it. If you acknowledge your land is stolen and anyone like in your illegal, no one's illegal in stolen land or whatever, it's like, there you go. You've acknowledged that you have stolen land from others. Give it back.
Well, and then a lot of people would be like, well, she legally purchased it. Okay. But when Jimmy buys a fucking Hellcat that had a VIN swap put on it and it's a stolen car from fucking 3 years ago,
Yeah, I was even
and
going
that
to say that.
car's
I'm like,
been
if you
purchased.
buy, yeah, if the pawn shop buys a stolen watch, they got to give it back.
Mhm.
That's the easier way of saying that.
Well, I was going to make a joke, but
Oh.
yeah, there was a couple levels to that joke. I know you missed it, but it's okay. But like, it's like, dude, even if that car's stolen and you bought that car legitimately and it's $100,000 car, dude, you're losing your fucking money. You're not getting it back. That person's gone. That person needs to be made whole.
Hmm. Yeah,
There's
I would like to see her response if it's like, well, that means your house is on stolen land, so you don't own it. You can't own anything on stolen land. We're all whatever.
it almost seems like there is part of our law that does do that though. Like if you say, "Oh my god, this happened. I saw this. I accept that this happened. You're a victim of this and this person did that." That can be brought into court for those charges to happen. But it seems like almost like there needs to be more accountability. But I think that everybody would be so more afraid to fucking speak that, maybe not as many radical ideas would get out.
Who
And some are
cares?
acceptable and some are shit.
90% of
So
people are so stupid they shouldn't talk to begin with. World be better
it's
off if everyone's too scared to speak for their because they'd have repercussions.
it's it's fucking rough because you sit here as somebody who makes money off of YouTube and everything else, and it's like, dude, I want more people doing this to get more ideas and more thoughts and everything out there because I like laughing at people that are stupid.
Oh, dang. You're right. Then all of our profit goes away. It's like
And
we
it's
can't
just
make
like,
fun of someone that says you die if you go outside for 24 hours.
dude, I'd love to see that be a fucking challenge on fucking TikTok or something. It'd be so funny. Yeah, go wear a jacket outside. See how long you can stay out there. It's just, dude, she should fucking lose her house. Legitimately.
Yeah. But the problem is like a judge will see that and just immediately dismiss it on silliness. That's
But
why I
what
say
if
the
she has
courts.
to fucking pay them? What if she has to actually show like some equality level?
Yeah, at least give reparations because she admitted her home is on stolen land. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That
Like, hey, you don't have to tear it down. Hey, you don't have to leave, but like, you have to pay them the going rate for that house that you're fucking saying is stolen.
Also, the thing is, like, how serious are the people going after her? They're probably just doing it as a meme as well because they know it's not going to get any traction.
Oh, probably.
Like, you
Once
need people
again,
that
rage
genuinely
bait's
believe they're
retarded.
going. Yeah, you need people that genuinely believe they're going to get her house or some money out of it.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance they could.
Not if no
Now, it
one
might not be
believes it.
fucking multi-million dollars. I completely understand that it might be like $1 million case, but there's totally a possibility there.
Yeah, but going back to like just the people making those statements on default, man. How are you so stupid? No one knows how to think for themselves or think about any situation. They've just been propagandized. We can see how effective it is.
So, living in this time with Epstein and everything else and all of this crazy shit that's gone on, it is so fucking mind blowing the amount of conspiracy theories that are fucking being accepted or proven every single fucking day right now. You have Pizzagate, that's at least thoroughly fucking questionable now. You have the Epstein shit, that's thoroughly fucking questionable now. You have Nickelodeon and being influenced by Epstein, totally being accepted now. We were one of the first ones on that. That I think's hilarious. Thanks for the quotes, guys. Fucking fantastic. Now you also have Kurt Cobain's ending his Minecraft is now being looked at as a murder. Did you see
Why?
or hear anything about this?
Didn't hear anything about that, but it seems like we're a little too far removed for that to finally be something to get investigated. Or has new evidence surfaced?
So
Did that chick text someone say, "Yeah, I did it"?
now an unofficial private sector team of forensic scientists have put fresh eyes on Kurt Cobain's autopsy and the crime scene materials, um, who have previously worked on cases involving overdoses followed by gunshot trauma. Independent researcher Wilkins, who worked with this team, told the Daily Mail that after 3 days of looking into the evidence with fresh eyes, this is a homicide. We've got to do something about this.
That is also
She's
interesting to consider. Like 30 years of similar cases, and then you can go back and go like, oh yeah, this doesn't have any characteristics. Didn't think about it like that.
uh, she said that the conclusion followed an exhaustive review of the autopsy findings, which revealed signs of inconsistent with uh, instantaneous gunshot death. The peer reviewed paper presented 10 points of evidence suggesting Cobain was confronted by one or more assailants who forced heroin overdose to incapacitate him before one of them shot him in the head and placed his gun in his arms and left the forged suicide note behind. They're testing his firearm and everything else now, too. It's just, I hate that people legitimately don't allow there to be question in things. Like questions being thrown at things are seen as, a conspiracy theory, or you're crazy if you believe that a question could happen here, or
Oh,
this entire cabal could have happened in this situation or that situation. It is frustrating.
yeah. That I mean, we've seen how institutions have just taken over and locked down everything, and that's just it. The sugar lobby blaming fat, and of course that was always wrong, blatantly, obviously. And everything related to health, everything with a profit incentive, anything of any power. It's obvious. You there, Zach?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
I'm so frustrated because, like, if you have to, Wood said this last episode. If you have to explain the way your mind works or a thought that you have, you're able to explain it to a different level than just like not being questioned on it. And like if you just stand on it and say, "Oh, that's not what this shows." Okay, you're not explaining it. Like I know that this is a local thing for me, but there was a woman that disappeared in like the late 90s in upstate New York, and she disappeared in her Jeep, and she was driving about like 10 miles from her work to her home. And she just disappeared randomly on that trip. It's like, guys, every answer is a possible answer until the answer is proven that it's incorrect. There's nothing that was proven that Cobain's death wasn't a murder. Bye, Verlis. I don't know where you went, buddy. Um, Hold on. Like I remember this chick's fucking. It was almost like a wanted poster that they were looking for her, and she disappeared within like the 10 miles in between her job and her home. And the main thing that they're like, well, this green Jeep with this license plate, it's so common it can't be like hidden. But yet they don't want to accept that the other answers are also possible. Until they're proven wrong, you can't just accept that there's nothing towards like this being a thing yet. And the fact that everybody for so long has fought that the Kurt Cobain thing wasn't a suicide, that he was killed and everything else, it's insane to me to believe that people still thought that was the way that it needed to go. I don't understand where they missed it so badly that they're like, "Hey, this isn't okay." Just it doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah, that is weird. Where it's like, but what if it is the truth? What if the weird thing that doesn't line up or add up is actually what happened, and that's why that is what the overall consensus was?
It just with how many things are slowly being proven correct. It's like, hey, we can start fixing these Zoomers' fucking mindsets with question everything, with asking the questions of like, hey, fucking explain that. For so long, how long did we think, Uncle Joe from down the street with the fucking tinfoil hat was fucking crazy? Everybody knew a fucking crazy Uncle Joe that wore a tinfoil hat because the fucking radar was going to make them, have cancer or whatever. Everybody thought those people were crazy. Now more and more of those fucking things are being proven semi correct. Hey, they may not know the science behind it, but they at least have the like logic behind what the fuck they're saying, and they can explain it. Now we're no longer asking those questions, and it's fucking frustrating.
I think the question everything though is also like on the other side of the intelligence bell curve, where if you're questioning everything, you're also stupid. You
Yeah,
can't.
because you're not believing anything.
Yeah, so like it's mostly just you have to reinforce critical thinking. You just need to give people the tools to think about something for themselves and judge everything with all the given information. That's why the conspiracy theories are correct, because the believe everything, or not believe everything, question everything. I I don't know. I just got to trip myself up.
No,
Yeah, my internet
he,
went out now. I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore. Uh,
no, I completely, I gotcha. I understand. No, it just, I would rather so many more people be asking questions of like, well, explain why this thing is this way. Like the jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. That science is correct, dude. And you can't dispute that. Like we do have more questions that line up after that.
no, this is where you also get into, but practical science shows you don't have to melt a beam to ruin its structural
Absolutely.
integrity. It just
No,
gets
I
hit,
and I
it gets hot and malleable, and there's definitely the temperatures for that.
yeah, exactly.
So that's
I
why I
was
say
using
like
that
you
as an
can't.
example.
Yeah. So I think that's why I'm trying to get online with like not questioning everything, because with all the COVID stuff, we had the entire history of virology get thrown out for somehow some reason in modern medical era. And like we know that if you get exposed to the virus, you build an immunity. If you're outside, you're healthier, and then you can fight it off better.
Well, even before that, like I don't remember who the fuck said this, but I remember it being the fucking leading story at the beginning, and I couldn't like fully wrap my arms around and grasp this. I pictured this like a Call of Duty map almost. But I remember them saying that some dude ate a bat at a meat market where the fucking virology lab was right next to it. And I pictured this like the most Call of Duty map thing ever, where there was just like open fucking carts worth of bats laying there and they picked one up. But like, dude, that story changed like 50 fucking times as we were told what the fuck to believe about it. And it's just
Also,
like, dude,
I
that's
don't
not.
understand how people can just believe everything that's being told to them, even as it's contradicting nonstop. Because the first it was don't use masks, masks don't work, and then that was actually a lie because they didn't want people to buy out all the masks. So you just got triaged, you got sacrificed, because
Yeah.
if masks worked, they told you it didn't. So why the health is just like the health authority is lying to us because they're against our interest from the start.
Well, that shit showed exactly what we were talking about at the beginning, where, different generations deal with different things. Dude, that situation, you can thoroughly see how many people don't want to force themselves to not be comfortable. Like if you actually have asthma so bad that you have breathing problems, absolutely understand you not wanting to wear a mask and making it harder to breathe. But there's a line in there where you're just being a whiny little bitch at some point. And dude,
I don't
how
think
many
so.
people were just like,
I don't think it's being whiny to not want something forced onto you that doesn't work.
that's not what I was saying. I was saying like
Oh,
there were people getting medical documentation saying that they have like asthma and they can't breathe. So they're not going to wear a mask. If you really have that problem, completely agree. But if you're saying, I don't want to wear a mask because it makes it harder to breathe slightly, you're kind of being a bitch.
no, that's completely valid. Air is very important.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying that if you're saying it's hard and that's your only answer is it makes it harder.
It does though. And like you have to give some kind of reason to push back against the stupidity.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with people fighting back against it. I just
And
don't
also,
think the same.
ironically, in the same time frame, I can't breathe was valid.
Yep, exactly. And then you get to a conspiracy theory that we fucking won on. And I don't know if you remember this conversation or not, but we were talking openly about how SpongeBob's ID had Jeffrey Epstein's fucking address. And the Nickelodeon logo at the time was that splat with the like little dots that came off of it, and that was the layout of Little St. James Island. We were on top of that about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and there's been no stories about it since. And now all of it has been proven correct.
I remember us talking about that, but I remember just not believing it.
And now it's just like it's actually sticking out and it's fucking hilarious.
I mean, the splat, there's like, that has to be coincidence. Like, that has to be coincidence. And also, did Epstein make his island after SpongeBob, so he just thought that would be funny? But also, all the SpongeBob, like Nickelodeon execs, were into little kids and feet, so they're probably all friends with Epstein, anyways. Who knows?
If you call the theme park on Little St. James Island, I guess at some point, the number takes you to SpongeBob SquarePants' voicemail. It's just it's lunacy. It's fucking lunacy. Oh, here's all the stuff. Why the fuck does Facebook's images look low quality? I hate people. Open image in new tab. This one. Share this tab and open this window and that. So that says the Legends of Little St. James Island, 124 Con Street, St. Thomas, United States. And SpongeBob is his location is 124 Con Street, Bikini Bottom. That's rather clear as day, buddy. It just is.
Is this actually like real information, or did someone just fake that entire picture of made up stuff,
No,
though?
somebody combined all the shit together and made it look old timey. But I've seen like 4 or 5 different images of this. It was just the first one that I found.
Mm-hmm. But is that the actual address on the island?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I don't think the Splat has anything to do with it, because Nickelodeon has like 10 different Splat logos, because that's what happens when you throw slime at a wall.
But the image of the two things together, kind of crazy close. Look at that. Look at that shit.
Again, Nickelodeon has 10 different Splat logos, though.
Yeah, I don't know what it changed. I remember the big splat and then the foot and everything else. And that also lines up with them being creepy. But I have
Well, like I
no
said, like,
idea.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the execs were friends, but I don't know why there would be an Easter egg to Jeffrey. I don't believe that lines up.
It's
Everything, like, if you're pulling an image from Facebook, though, that makes it like 90% more fake.
no, the address thing is totally true. It it's been exploding and talked about quite a bit. It's
I
just
don't I
some
don't trust
fucking
anything
images
getting
are hard to
talked
find.
about on social media because it's all rage bait.
Oh, it all is fucking rage bait. But it totally is the let me just this is gonna look fucking weird in my fucking search history. Legends of Little Yep, there we go. What is the address? But yeah, no, I thought that was fucking retarded. That's the
Yeah,
possible
now everything
address.
is 5 days ago. There's a news story about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like I'm grabbing this from nowhere. I just thought it was funny that we were
Well, that's I
absolutely
mean when
like
like suddenly
right.
there's a big news push on like social media nonsense. I don't believe it. Everyone's
Yeah,
talking about the logo more than the address.
the address is the one that sticks out more to me.
Yeah.
But the logo is a thing. We talked about it last time. Because then whatchamacallit? I think before that one, if I remember correctly, before that one's the foot one when like Dan Schneider was like a big person at Nickelodeon,
A
which would be the
homemade
one that we
entry on
remembered.
Google Maps started it all. People are allowed
Oh,
to drop in pins. This was fact checked already. The address isn't real.
yay. That's fucking horrible. I liked that conspiracy theory. And then the other one that's going on, you heard about this kidnapping and everything else that's going on, right?
Yeah.
I guess the chick, the daughter, her mom's the one that's missing. The daughter is the one that spoke to Virginia Guthrie or Virginia Roberts, the one that was attacked by Prince Andrew on Epstein's Island and shit. The one that killed herself like 2 years ago, a year ago, something like that. And now her mom's missing. Totally
Yeah,
could
these
not
are
be
just
connected. Totally is connected. I don't know.
these are just names and words and weird stuff happening now.
Yeah, that's where this shit gets fucking weird though. And that's the part that I can't fucking stand. Is like once you start seeing some of the copium line up, it makes it much more understanding that all of the other copium makes sense. It's just like I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. And that's totally what they fucking wanted. They want everybody to be confused and question everything. So that way, nobody can actually get the honest truth out. And they do. They fucking just hide everything that's fake. So you sent over this thing about not being a morning person and the morning person supremacy stick not really making sense. So do you think we should take our personal anecdotes before we read this or after?
I'm mostly just saying like this goes in line with people just making up whatever garbage for their confirmation bias and being entitled and whatever because this person in the replies just keeps saying, look up late chronotype, look up late chronotype, look up late chronotype. So it's always condescension about their made up neurotypical BS that they keep trying to use as excuses for being a horrible person or something. So that was pretty much my thing. Like, they have unhealthy
Gotcha.
habits. Like, you stay up late, so your body responds poorly, and then they just make up a term. And late chronotype didn't exist until past the 2000s. So that's why I wanted
So
to bring up that. It's just more people making stuff up.
yeah, so this chick said, I don't understand the morning person supremacy stick. I really don't. When I go to bed earlier and get up earlier, even when I'm consistent for months, I never acclimate. My body hates it. I speak for all the late chronotype homies and nurse my creativity. I mean, gone. I'm drowsy all day. It's miserable. And then there are so many people like this moralizing the living the heck out of the sleep and wake times for what? I don't know, man. I'm so over it. I force myself into a schedule sometimes because I have to. I accept that society was built for the majority and not the minority, and that's fine. But I'm also not accepting one more second of shame about how I best function. Morning people who have a problem with night owls, take it up with God already. He's the one who made us this way. It's not like you're mad I have hazel eyes, I swear. What the
That's
fuck?
insane.
What the fuck are you even this so first off, I understand where they're coming from. But the fact that you feel like you have to grandstand on absolutely everything drives me up a fucking wall. I remember my mom worked night shift for fucking ever when I was a teenager because she was an overnight nurse. And she used to say that shit all the time. She was just like, yeah, well, people during the day just sit there and bitch and complain and like nights feel like they do everything and even when I was working, they used to do that shit too. It's like, dude, all this shit is horrible. It's not whether you're a good person or a bad person. It's not whether you're doing things right or wrong. You can force and teach your body to do things regardless. Some people it's harder for. Why is that so fucking nuanced and hard to understand?
Because no one wants to admit they're terminally online and that they have poor health habits. Like, if you ate well, exercised, and lived a fulfilling life, you naturally want to go to bed at a reasonable time. And yes, like, there is the thing where some people are just programmed biologically to be inverted. But that's also not what this person's talking about. Because if you go in the replies, they just like, oh, I need to sleep in a few more hours to be productive. If you wake up at noon, you're not late chronotype. Like, it's either nocturnal or diurnal. It's not, oh, I need to sleep 4 more hours because my brain is extra cooked from staring at a screen and I'm extra exhausted from poor habits. It's just justification for being awful.
Like, and I don't fully grasp exactly why these people are like, oh my God, we have to label everything. Dude, I go to sleep in between 1 and 2 a.m. every single day. I wake up in between 10 and 11 every single day. But there's also a bigger part of that where I wake up to make sure my kids get off to school in that time, and I sleep about 4 hours each time. Like it's not as crazy or complex as what it sounds. This doesn't make me fucking weird. That doesn't make me have to have a fucking, you know, diagnosis and everything else. Dude, it just makes it easier. Some
It's
people are
also weird,
insomniacs.
like how with the autism thing, that magically suddenly everyone has this, that
Yeah.
everyone is nocturnal late chronotype, when it's like, no, maybe it's these other societal things of that people are just forcing labels onto so they can treat others terribly with their superiority because now they have the label. They're the different special one that somehow everyone also agrees with.
Well, I'm gonna explain it this way. And so have you ever not wanted to get off a video game and stayed up all night?
No.
So you never in your teenage years was like, dude, mom, I'm almost done with Final Fantasy. I'm about to see the cat girl's tail. I need to finish it right now.
Nope, I was a good boy and always went to bed exactly when I was supposed to for my bedtime. And as a responsible adult, I've never pushed myself beyond any limits.
But you understood,
I
going
just want to see
outside
how
and
you respond to that.
oh, okay. I think you're full of shit, and we all know that you stayed up to watch the Final Fantasy cat girl tale come out, even if it was 2 a.m. and you stayed up all night to finish the game. I think everybody fucking has done this. The thing is everybody is so fucking addicted just to the easiest, most simple way to like live life, which is just scrolling your phone and watching shorts and giggling at dumb fucking shit like Skibbity Riz Ohio, that everybody is literally just fucking with their dopamine reception to the point where they're just like, it's okay. And they don't want to hold themselves accountable a little bit.
Yeah. And it's also your
Because this,
biological clock. Because, like, it's
yeah,
not a hard program thing. So they're just, like, permanently delaying their biological clock by making the sunlight shine in their eyes until midnight. And then they're just completely exhausted from all the chemicals in their brain being soaked up by brain rot.
like if you don't worry about those things and you don't like sit there and hyper focus on it, dude, your body will find a fucking rhythm of going to sleep and waking up. I understand that's a luxury for some people because they have jobs and everything else. I get that. But like, dude, you find your fucking north. North is north, regardless of what the fuck you think it is. Just fucking find your north. You don't have to have a fucking label for it. And the fact that so many people want to label this as an autistic thing or whatever is fucking mind blowing. Dude, you people are playing so highly to the like levels of addiction of like heroin addicts that it's fucking ridiculous. You're just finding a way out of accountability because trust me, bro, I'm autistic. And dude, I will be much more quicker to label you a fucking tard than somebody who's so fucking on top of it because you're autistic. Dude, you're not autistic. You're just a shitty human who wants excuses because you're addicted. It's
Yeah.
just infuriating.
And the thing is, like, these things are made to be addicting. They're made to make it seamless, frictionless to just stay up until midnight playing games, interacting with entertainment.
Yeah. How many people just fucking binge watch TV shows? Why do you do that? Because you're fucking burning all of the dopamine out so that you don't have to go back to it again. You wanna know why I understand it? Because I did it. But you don't have to treat fucking your everything in your life like a fucking heroin addict. Because that's what this shit is. You're treating life. Oh, I can't be creative unless I wake up at 2 a.m. and then go to sleep at 9 a.m. And then I create my circadian rhythm so way I'm up in between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody cares.
Well, all the other losers care, and that's why they just say, like, yep, this is fact now. Someone on Twitter got 10,000 likes, so this is exactly how the world works. And that's why I also had to catch them on the chronotype thing, because, like, that was literally not a term until 2000. So no, this has only existed with the rise of all the technology stuff that we blame it on, huh?
Yeah. And like, I think that that's part of why like the schedule for TV and stuff worked is like they put on more fucking brain numbing shit as the fucking day went on. After 9 o'clock, you get fucking Nick at Night. And dude, everybody loves an episode or two of The Cosby Show or fucking Fresh Prince of Bel Air. But dude, once George Lopez came on, I'm going to sleep.
Yep. Or also it was the 10 o'clock news. Like you had the 9 o'clock news of the kind of more exciting stuff, or maybe like the extra primetime show that was exciting. That's going to burn out all of your dopamine. Then you just hear like another murder happened on 12th Street this evening, and it's gone. And then you sleep from 10 to 6. That's your 8 hours. Boom.
You know it's fucking insane. So I paid for YouTube TV because of the Super Bowl and stuff. I wanted to watch it. And me and my fiance are sitting here, like actually looking at what's on TV now. You will never guess what show is starting and 90% of Nick at Night now. It's a show that literally doesn't even make sense as a whole how it was able to last long, unless we truly are as autistic as we think we are. It's Big Bang Theory. Okay, why are we putting a sitcom for late night TV? What the fuck is this? Why did we transfer from like jokes about life and women with Fresh Prince of Bel Air to, oh my God, I don't know how to make the fucking rocket fly? I don't know.
It,
Maybe we really are just as autistic as everybody says we are. Maybe
they're the
everything's
same
perfect,
jokes for
but
the
okay.
same culture, though. Like, it's always been comedy. Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that was just kind of whatever hip hop culture they were trying to introduce into the 90s to to calm down all the racism. That's really why that show existed. And it worked. Cosby and Fresh Prince pretty much like eliminated racism in the 90s.
I don't know, man. Like,
So we don't have that. We don't have anything relatable. So now the relatable thing is nerd culture. I think Big Bang Theory is fair. You can disagree on it being a good show, but it is like the most successful
oh,
sitcom in history.
I totally like it. I don't understand how it is as successful as it is.
I don't get
To
that
me,
either.
it screams like, you know how everybody wants to be a part of the joke?
Yeah.
It seems like that's exactly what they did, and they capitalized on something of like, haha, if you like Big Bang, you're smart. So now they're, extrapolating that out across.
Oh, it's an excellent show for midwits, which probably is why it's so successful because it takes these higher level things or these in jokes and these niche communities and distills it into the lowest common denominator. But I think it's completely fair that it's on Nick at Night. Like that just seems like the most natural thing for a relevant sitcom.
No, it just made me feel old. That's all it was. That's the only entire part of that
Oh,
entire thing
I
is
thought you
like,
meant it was out of place and didn't make sense. Not I'm
no,
old.
no, it made me feel old.
You are the parent that now sees like Fresh Prince rolling on at Nick at Night when their kids are watching, going, fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, Fresh Prince, let's go. Big bet. I'm okay with this, but why the fuck is this here? Totally okay with this, but like, why? Why are we at the point where it's like Fresh Prince no longer here? Big Bang, let's go. Fuck, man. There's no way in hell that it's been that long to the point where Big Bang is, topical. Fuck my life. Speaking of topical, so I guess with Metacritic, they're going through and they rate games and everything else. And a whole bunch of, GameStop bros, the people that were fucking doing all of the trading for GameStop and everything else. We're like, dude, I've never seen that. Is that really one of the greatest games of all time? Because I guess Metacritic released their top 3 games of all time. And I was blown away by the fact that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 was number one, which I totally expected. I think everybody does. I didn't play it, but like obviously, I think that that's the way a lot of games are going. And then number two, Cory in the House on the Nintendo DS of 2008. And then Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I don't understand why the fuck is Cory in the House number two?
Then you're just out of it. You're an old man that doesn't understand the culture because Cory in the House is the greatest anime on Disney. So of course the game is going to have the same rabid fan base to vote up the user score because it's based on user score. So you get 10,000 of the greatest anime fans out there, regardless of if they played the game, they're giving it a 10 out of 10. Just makes sense.
And I guess this is the part where I'm like, oh yeah, Zach's autistic and he's stupid. I get it. Maybe I'm a midwit. But it's just like at some point, do we all just want to have to buy every single fucking game to know if a game's good? Like back in the day, I remember every single fucking movie and TV show having a fucking video game. You want to know what those video games were? They sat on the shelf.
But did you not know that Cory in the House is the greatest anime on Disney?
Oh, I'm sure it's the greatest hentai on Disney, but that doesn't mean that I understand why it's the greatest fucking video game. I get that it's a joke. I fucking get it, but like I don't. I just I don't understand.
Not one person played that game, Zach. They just
I
voted
know.
for it because. That's it. That's all you need to know. There's no validation. There's no vetting.
It feels like this is fucking stupid. It's just
Or
rage
maybe
baity bullshit.
I was about to say, or maybe you just got rage baited by Metacritic and they made all those numbers up.
With how much shit is going on in the world, I am starting to believe everything is fake. Everything is bullshit. They just do whatever the fuck pays them the
I've
most,
been talking about
and
that for
that's
years.
genuinely the answer.
Dead
But like,
internet. Nothing's real. Nothing has been real since 2016.
didn't the dude who played Corey turn into like a huge fucking drug dealer?
Don't remember.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's either him or the dude from That's So Raven. It's one of those two. I think he was from That's So Raven too, but I'm totally confused. But yeah, I thought it was fucking hilarious that out of everything, that is, the number two rated video game of all time. It just made no fucking sense. Made no fucking sense to me. And I know I get rage baited because I'm fucking retarded, but it is what it is. I had like four or five other fucking things happen that were stupid, like the dare class situation, but I don't even fucking remember what they are because I feel fucking exhausted.
That means the brain rot's working.
The brain rot totally is not working. I've had kids that have been sick on and off for like a month now. One kid finally gets better from being sick and not throwing up anymore. And then the other kid starts, and it's just a cycle of bullshittery. I'm just fucking tired. I look like I've been
Exactly.
punched in the eyes.
Life beats you down, and then you see Cory in the House ranked the second best game of all time, and you believe it. Or at least you wonder why, even though it's all fake.
Well, it's hard because, everybody used to take Rotten Tomatoes as like this big important fucking thing. Like, oh, did it score good on Rotten Tomatoes? When now you're realizing that it's just propaganda is bullshit on both sides. The critics are going to be very far left
I
and the
never
normal people are
trusted,
going to be very far right.
yeah. I never trusted Rotten Tomatoes a moment in my life. I don't trust any critic review things or anything, or at least aggregates.
No, I remember watching G4 all the fucking time and watching like Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb talk about how amazing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was. A game I never played and I've never watched any Star Wars movies. But I'm like, okay, I could understand where a lot of people would have this game as like one of their favorite games of all time. Meanwhile, none of my three favorite games of all time are ever talked about in those lists, and I just find it hilarious. Unless you're talking
Exactly.
about
That's
like
why
best
all
Nintendo
aggregates
games.
are That's why listing is fraudulent. You only need the confirmation bias. If my thing isn't top, they are wrong, so everything they say is wrong.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time is the best game of all time. And fuck anybody who disagrees. That's how it works, isn't it? Confirmation bias is the right answer always. Guys, we'll see you fucking next time. Bye.